Get your ears wrapped around the Golden State Media Concepts Basketball Podcast. All the scoop you need to know, from college basketball to the NBA and even March Madness. News of your rising stars, topics on and off the hardwood. This is the Golden State Media Concepts Basketball Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the GSMC Basketball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Jeff Malinoff. With me is my colleague, Mark Souza. We got a lot to talk about in the world of basketball today. We got Anthony Davis requesting a trade from the Pelicans, and we'll talk about it in detail in the first segment. Then we'll talk about the Warriors and how unstoppable they are and if they'll lose a game. And we'll also talk about Klay Thompson and the rumors of him being interested in the Los Angeles Lakers. And also we'll talk about the games that have happened in the last 24 hours. So let's dive right into it.
You want to talk about the Apple bug?
Excuse me?
The big story is the Apple bug.
What's the Apple bug?
The FaceTime bug. You haven't heard about this.
Explain.
If you have an iPhone, does anybody ever FaceTime you at all?
Yeah, sometime. Why?
You should probably turn it off, like ASAP.
I haven't done it in months. Why?
Well, there's a new bug for FaceTime, and basically, if let's just say
Don't FaceTime me.
Let's just say if I FaceTimed you, I can listen to you before you even accept the phone call, and I can look at you and watch you before.
Should I delete the app entirely?
No, you can just disable FaceTime.
Disabling FaceTime.
There's a weird bug going on right now that I can hear you. Like if you're like, oh,
all right,
I don't want to.
I turned off FaceTime. Not happening.
If you're like, if you see that I'm FaceTiming you and you're like, oh, I hate Mark, I don't want to talk to him, I could hear all that.
Oh, because it's ringing. Oh, that makes sense.
Because there's this thing that you just enter your phone number. You enter your phone number while the call is going, while the FaceTime call is going, and it turns it to a conference call. And for some reason, it opens your phone. And another thing, if you hit the close button on your phone, it starts recording you. So I could start seeing you. Let's just say you were doing something that you didn't want me to see you doing, and I could see exactly what you're doing, and you wouldn't even know. The only way you would know is if I made a noise. If I made a noise, you'd be like, what was that? Then you could hear me.
Why didn't you tell me this off air? Why did you tell me all of a sudden right now?
I heard it this morning. I read about it this morning.
Do you disable FaceTime immediately after
I
that?
don't have an iPhone, but I thought it was funny.
Well, I disabled FaceTime on my phone. So
that is
good.
one heck of a bad bug. Like, that is probably the worst. How?
I mean,
I just want to know
what's
how.
worse, that or a bed bug, or maybe even an ant or a spider? I mean, they're not bugs, but, like, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
people
anyways,
will call them bugs.
If you haven't disabled FaceTime, ladies and gentlemen,
disable it.
Apple said they're working very hard to fix this problem, but disable it, and you don't have to delete it. Just disable FaceTime in your settings.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
I just did. You can, too. Where were we talking about? Anyways,
we're talking about Anthony Davis and him FaceTiming with the Lakers. Maybe. Word.
Well, Anthony Davis has requested a trade, and it sounds like he's going to be there for the rest of the season, in New Orleans, that is, and then they'll look for a trade. But apparently the Lakers and the Knicks are both pushing very hard to make that trade happen right now.
I want to see an Anthony Davis reenactment of him and his agent requesting a trade, sitting down with the front office, but it all being in old English accents. I think that could be good.
Okay.
I'm going to table this idea for later. But, yeah, the unibrow, the brow. He is looking to leave the Pelicans. Can you blame him?
No.
What do you think about this?
I don't blame him because he's been on that team for, what was it, 2010 he got drafted?
He's been there for like 5 years.
Has it only been 5 years?
No, more than that. He was drafted 19, so he's 25, about 6 years. 6 or 7.
It's insane how young he is, and he's arguably the best player in the NBA.
First extension, so now he's looking at his third
Supermax, his Supermax deal.
Right.
And
which he's not going to get.
He knows he's not going to win with this team. That's why he's hesitant. That's how I see it, at least. Mm-hmm. And the fact of the matter is, when you're looking at this, he wants to be on his agent says he wants to be on a contender. He wants to be on a real team that can contend and win championships. And that only leaves a couple of teams. Yeah. And obviously, what sounds like everyone thinks is on his list is the Los Angeles Lakers. And with that,
I feel like that's like the worst kept secret in the NBA landscape at this moment.
But with that comes with a big question that I think needs to be asked, and that's like, what are you giving up for Anthony Davis? What are you going to demand for Anthony Davis? Because it's not going to be an easy trade to do. You're going to have to give up a lot of your future for him. Mm-hmm. And what people are saying, and I've already seen Photoshop pictures of them in Pelicans jerseys, is Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and
Kuzma.
Thank you.
You always have a problem with that one.
I don't know. I have a problem with a lot of names. Also, I have like a problem with talking. Anyways, as we were saying, those are the three. Maybe even add Hart to that conversation. Like that, I heard was also a possibility. Add those 4 in a first-round draft pick because that first-round draft pick will probably be useless because it won't be a lottery pick. And also, you're looking at just giving up. You're probably giving up Anthony Davis and another player, just a scrub player.
Yeah, maybe.
In that, like, DeMarcus Cousins got traded to the Pelicans. Like, Omar Caspi was part of that trade, but that was for no reason whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was for salary purposes. So, but bottom line is, it sounds like they will only accept a deal before this summer if they are wowed by an offer. Like, they have to be overwhelmed by the offer. Like, it's got to be something amazing.
Anthony Davis is still under contract for all of next season, so they don't really have to trade him now. They don't even have to trade him in the summer. They could wait all the way until this time next year if they truly wanted to. I don't know if they want to do that.
I don't think they want to do that. It's too close. It's too close to the end of the contract at that point.
But I'm just saying they don't have to do anything for a long time. For a year, for 6 months, for 7 months, for 8 months.
I would say don't wait until close to the end of the season where he will be a free agent next season.
Mm-hmm.
So, because then people will just say, no, we're just going to wait until he's a free agent and pay.
Right.
So, I think this summer you're going to get the best possible deal.
So, my opinion is, and let me go ahead and lay it out, and I want to hear your thoughts.
Okay, go.
My opinion is the New Orleans Pelicans should not play Anthony Davis until they trade him. He's drawn the line in the sand. He said, I'm not going to play for your franchise further. So, in my opinion, they should send him home. They should sell off their other assets like Mirotic, Drew Holiday. Go ahead and tank the rest of the season. Try and get in the top 5 or 6 because if you're in the top 5 or 6 with the new NBA lottery rules, you have a real chance of getting the number 1 pick. That could be Zion, of course. They shouldn't play Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
I don't think they should. And you can say what you want, and the players can be mad. The NBA PA can be mad, but he's not going to re-sign with you. And I think the Pelicans need to do what's best for their franchise. And at this moment in time, it's not win another game and trade Anthony Davis to the best trade that you can get for him and then build your team back that way. What do you say about that?
It makes sense in theory, but is Anthony Davis going to accept that?
He can't. He has no choice.
I know, but will that make it a worse kind of a breakup in this scenario?
I mean, it probably will. But are you worried about what Anthony Davis thinks? If you're the Pelicans, he just said, "I'm not playing for your franchise anymore. Like I'll play because I like basketball." But I don't care about winning a championship here. I'm not trying to win.
He's not saying I don't care if I win a championship here. He knows he's not going to win a championship.
Right, but I'm saying his heart's not in it anymore. He's done with the team.
Yeah.
He wants to be traded.
He's burned out from the team.
He requested
Absolutely.
a trade. He wants to go somewhere before the trade deadline.
Yes. But no, he does say he's willing to stay the rest of the season, though.
I understand that, but he requested a trade.
Yeah. That means he wants out.
Yeah.
Obviously. Oh, yeah, I'm stating the obvious here. But that is not up to him whether he gets traded or not. That's all up to like the Pelicans and what they want to do with him. Whatever they do with him is get a they're going to get the best possible offers for arguably the best player in the NBA. And should they bench him and save his health for those trades? Absolutely. Will they? Probably not. I think it's more of like, and they're in the 25th in attendance, so he's not even that much of a draw in New Orleans anymore because they're not a big basketball town. So it's really like, are you expecting to do a miracle with this team going into the playoffs somehow, or
they're not making the playoffs? They're out.
So I'm just hypothetically.
I mean, they'd literally have to lose like maybe 6 more games the rest of the season to make the playoffs. So I mean, I think he realizes that. Mm-hmm. Right now they're 22-28. So you got to win like at least 45 games.
So in theory, they're not making the playoffs. So why even play him when you know you're not going to win?
I wouldn't play him. If you play him, all you can do is 2 things: win games that you don't want to win, and he could get hurt.
True.
And then if he gets hurt, his trade value is worse.
Oh yeah.
What if he suffers like, I don't know, a tear?
Yeah.
Then the value goes way, 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 way down.
Is he even going to get drafted? Or he's probably going to get traded, but it'll be not as attractive as the other trades you would get, because you can get 4 amazingly young athletes and a first-round draft pick. But if he's injured, that you cut that in more than half.
If I'm the owner of the Pelicans, I literally say I'm not playing Anthony Davis until he's traded, because there's nothing that playing him will do to benefit the team other than sell a few extra tickets. But they're already bad at selling tickets. Mm-hmm. Like you mentioned before, 25th in the league in at home attendance. So if you're not selling any tickets with him, why risk the future of your franchise?
You were saying this is one of the most likely teams to move to be a moving franchise the next couple of years to Seattle or otherwise.
Yes. To elaborate on that, my point, what I was pointing out earlier, was that the Pelicans are a franchise that's very volatile. Like, we don't know if they're going to be sustainable in New Orleans for years and years to come. We already know, when you look at the landscape of the NBA and you look at the teams that could possibly relocate, the Pelicans are up there. They're in the top 5 in teams that may move in the next 6-7 years, even earlier than that, just because of the buzz they generate, because of the attendance. So this move could really, really change not just their franchise, but it could move their franchise. I mean, this could be a move that backfires so bad that they're in Seattle in 2 or 3 years, or they're in Vancouver, whatever city that doesn't have a team.
They're going to be named the Sonics if they move to Seattle, huh?
It's just one of those things where this is a huge, huge, important move for them, good or bad. Like, they need to win this trade, and I think that they just need to look for the most assets possible, because at the end of the day, Jeff, nobody is signing in New Orleans as a free agent unless they're overpaid. But if you have options, like, you're not getting a star to sign there. There's just too many other cities, too many other teams that players want to play for. You know, Kyrie Irving is not signing with the Pelicans next year. Kevin Durant is not going to the Pelicans, with or without Anthony Davis. You know, mm-hmm. It really took a trade to get another star next to Anthony Davis. It took getting DeMarcus Cousins from Sacramento to at least put somebody next to him that's a big-name player. So this is a very important time in this franchise, and that's why I say they should sit Anthony Davis, not play him. Will the fans be upset? Probably. But, hey, the fans are already upset because he just told the fans, I'm not going to play here. Well, yeah. I'm moving on.
Their next
Don't
home game,
buy my jersey, basically.
Their next home game is in a couple of days.
It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. He's going to get booed.
Against the Nuggets, I believe.
Do you see, like people burn jerseys nowadays? Do you think you see his jersey being burned sooner rather than later?
Later than sooner.
When he's officially traded, he's going to get it?
Yeah, because, I mean, maybe there's always a chance he has, like, a change of heart or something like that. And plus, I don't know if he gets traded the next week. We know the trade deadline is about 9 days away. So, yes, he could get traded, but maybe he doesn't. So, if not, maybe they go into the offseason with him still on the roster. Maybe they hold out some hope that he has a change of heart. that he does sign that extension. Just because he says he's not signing it doesn't mean that he can't sign it. So you never know. You never know.
If he does sign, I'll be shocked.
There's also the fact that you could be looking at a sign and trade type of situation.
He
could do that, which is weird.
Sign to Supermax, then get traded?
Yeah. I think you can do that.
Who on earth would accept that, though?
What do you mean?
Who would trade with that contract?
A team that doesn't care about that money, like the Lakers?
I guess, but that's a ton of money.
But the Supermax doesn't count against the salary cap.
True. But still, it's fine, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're paying the guy. It's millions of dollars we're talking about.
Over 200.
Mm-hmm.
What was Harden's, like 221, 231?
So other than the Lakers, where could Anthony Davis possibly go? We've heard, or we've read rumors.
The Knicks are pushing.
We've read rumors that he's not interested in going to Boston, which I find hard to believe, but we've heard those rumors. We've seen those things.
Mm-hmm.
The Celtics can't trade for him until the summer. That's an important note here.
The Rose Rule, correct?
Yes. The NBA has always got these ridiculous
Well, it's called the Rose
rules.
Rule because of Derrick Rose, and if he didn't win MVP that in 2010, 2011, this would not be a rule, but it is.
The Knicks, yes, we've heard they want to get in the mix.
Should we explain what the Rose Rule is?
Yeah, it's when it's early bird supermax rights or whatever, because you can't sign another. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
It is nicknamed the Derrick Rose Rule because of the 2011 NBA MVP.
Yes.
Expect to be the first player to benefit from the new agreement. This is the only fourth-year player to have already qualified. However, wait, let me read this. Hold on. Let me read the whole thing.
So it's because you either win an MVP or you make the All-Star game like 3 times. It's either or.
It's like a star type of thing.
Yes, and Anthony Davis qualifies because he made the All-Star team. They can't have 2 players on the team that qualify for this, and Kyrie is one of them, so they can't get Anthony Davis in addition, apparently.
Yeah.
Regardless of the exact wording, the point is the Celtics cannot trade for Anthony Davis until the summer. So with that being said, you can't go coming off a rookie salary and complete 25% to 30% of the salary cap. 25% to 30%. You have to, if you're eligible to win it, you have to be won an MVP, voted twice in the All-Star game, 2 times,
and as a starter, and be an NBA All-NBA team.
There you go.
First, second, or third.
So he qualifies with the second and third point of that. So, Boston, I feel like that's always been the team that's wanted Anthony Davis or would make the big push. Other than that, though, I don't know what the Knicks could possibly offer them. I mean, what young players on the Knicks would the Pelicans want? Kevin Knox?
Well, the thing is,
Frank Nicolatina?
The thing is, we don't know what they're thinking. That's the thing.
We don't know what they're thinking, but we can look and assess, okay, the Knicks don't have too many assets to sell, right? Like, we can agree that Boston and the Lakers have much more in terms of young talent than New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
if Porzingis wasn't injured, I would say he would be the guy that they would be most interested in, but he's injury
and
prone.
Also, Porzingis is up for a new contract soon.
True. It's just not the
You
right time.
don't even know if he's going to be. He could say, I'm not going to re-sign here either.
Yeah. So they're kind of in a predicament themselves, but I don't know. Maybe it's...
You just want young guys who are on long rookie deals,
It would probably be a 3-team trade with the Knicks and somebody else if the Knicks are going to get Anthony Davis. But I don't know what that third team would be and what it would be for. Like, there's a lot of different questions coming around. And, this probably still doesn't even happen this season. This trade down, it's probably not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, we should not even consider talking about this until we even know there's even just... I know there's still discussion brewing, but I don't think anything's going to go down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think what we'll see is a lot of talk. If I'm the Lakers, though, I go all in. I make the trade now. I know that they don't want to sell off their assets if they think they can get Davis down the road, but you don't want to lose a whole year of Anthony Davis. Like, you could get him now. Like, why wouldn't you pair him with LeBron now and not wait until either the summer or next year, because LeBron's window, man, is closing. He could still be the best player in the NBA, or even Anthony Davis has an argument there. But still, regardless, the window is closing for LeBron. I think the Lakers need to make that move now and at least set themselves up for this summer, because if they make that move now, then they have Davis and LeBron going into the summer. So even if they lose in the playoffs to a team like the Warriors or someone, all they need is that one more player. And then you got Kawhi, then you got Kevin Durant, then you got Kyrie Irving, all looking to make a move. That's an easy sell, in my opinion. Hey, come play with the Lakers.
Yeah, and, we'll talk about how good the Warriors are later, and that's going to be the main question. Like, is this even going to boost them over how good the Warriors are? Because they're looking borderline unstoppable at the moment. Mm-hmm. But I do agree with you. It's all based on they need a push now, or this is going to be a huge bidding war for the guy.
When's the last time a player of this magnitude requested a trade?
Didn't Shaq request a trade from the Magic?
I think he did. If that's that's a long time ago. If that's the last one,
I can't think of anything other.
That was like what, mid-90s?
Did Tracy McGrady ask for a trade for the Magic? I think he did, didn't he?
I'm not sure, but even if he did, is this bigger, or is Tracy?
He
McGrady
was a potential
bigger?
MVP. He was scoring champion. He was at the top of his game. He was considered one of the best in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he was a really good player for sure.
Yeah,
Hall of Fame caliber player for sure. I would say that Shaq is probably, because Anthony Davis is like a transcendent player, right? Like, there's not too many guys.
In theory,
like
didn't
him.
Kobe ask for a trade? I know it didn't happen, but didn't he ask for a trade at one point?
Maybe he threatened to. Maybe he actually did, but it was more of a posturing than actually trade me.
Like, get me a team.
It was a
or
power
I'm-
move.
Yeah.
It was a power. It was get rid of Shaq or get rid of me. That's what it was.
No, this was later. This is like 2008. This is when they were bad. And this is before they won. This is before they got like Pau Gasol and won NBA championships again. This was like, give me a good team or I'm out of here. I need a win now before I retire. I think that was the problem. But anything else you want to talk about Anthony Davis?
No, we should go to a break, come back, talk about the Warriors.
Yes, but first I want to talk to you about investing. When investing and planning for your retirement, it's always best to get advice from the experts. Best-selling author Harry Dent, America's #1 economist, says the dark window is open. There's an opportunity to rapidly boost your retirement savings before the greatest stock market crash in American history. But this dark window won't be open for long. You can make 10 times the annual average stock market gain in just a few short months. Find out more by going to www.harrydentforecast.com. There is a very short time to take advantage of this dark window. So go to www.harrydentforecast.com to learn more.
Are you looking for the very best NFL and college football podcast? Then check out the GSMC Football Podcast. Get the latest football news both on and off the field. From the NFL Draft to trades to the rumor mill to the NFL Combines. They got you covered. That's GSMCpodcast.com/football-podcast. Get updates on college rivalries, game day insights, and much, much more. It's football talk the way you want it. This show eats, sleeps, and breathes football. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
Welcome back to the GSMC Basketball Podcast. We just finished talking about Anthony Davis and his requesting of the trade situation. Now we move on to another West team, and that's the Golden State Warriors. They are on a 11-game winning streak. DeMarcus Cousins is coming back to his old self, had 22 points the other night. This team, it's not fair. It's just not fair.
Nope.
There's just no stopping them, is there?
No, he's the fifth Infinity Stone, right? Is that what
That's the joke, yeah. And Thanos
He's the
is
last one.
Kerr,
Now,
yeah.
now everybody's like not.
Did you see the
so
video?
well.
They had the stone, stone, but it was DeMarcus Cousins' face, and he puts it on the gauntlet.
It's Steve Kerr, right? Is it
Steve Kerr is photoshopped on Thanos' face, and Cousins is photoshopped on the Infinity Stone, and he puts it in.
Maybe Anthony Davis requested a trade because he's like, that's it. There's no way that I can drag this team to even one win in the playoffs against this Warriors team. I'm out of here.
Can't get a one win in the regular season.
The Warriors will never lose again this year.
For the next 20 years. Probably right.
When will the Warriors lose next? They're on a 11-game winning streak, including we have to talk about this. This is important. They demolished the Pacers on the road last night. How many times do you see a team go on the road and win by 32 points?
The Warriors. The Warriors are 36-14. So if they finish off the season undefeated, let's do 82 minus 14. They would be 68-14.
They play the 76ers on Thursday. It's going to be a good game. I mean, the Warriors will win, but, you know.
I am totally wrong, by the way. Is it 16? Wait. No, 68-14 is right.
16-14. Yeah, that's 82.
Yeah.
That math works.
Yeah, okay. I almost doubted myself for a second.
So get this. Warriors' next game is 76ers. Then they play the Lakers. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Hold on. You remember the last time they played the Lakers and the Warriors? What happened?
The Lakers won.
They killed them.
And
where was it at? It
was in Golden
was
State.
in Golden State. It was LeBron's last game.
It was LeBron's groin injury.
Right. But LeBron's supposed to be back this week.
You think that
the Warriors are at home against the Lakers, and they have DeMarcus. They're going to win by 35. Like, they're going to absolutely
I know. I mean, the Lakers are going to just destroy them. Oh, you meant the other two. Got it. Okay, before anyone gets on my case, I was joking.
Mark this down. Like, the Warriors, whatever the spread is, if they're favored by 12, 13, whatever, they're going to double that at least. At least.
When are they playing?
February 2nd, so that's Saturday night.
That's Saturday. Saturday. I have a date Saturday night, though.
Yeah, to Oakland to go watch the Lakers in the
Well, it's at a drive-in, but maybe. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it'll get canceled because that's my luck in my love life.
That's a good attitude to have.
Hey, if it doesn't work
what
out,
time is it? The game's at 5:30 Pacific.
Oh, I can actually. It's gonna be at night. So yeah. Oh yeah. I can watch it. Well, it's probably gonna be over by halftime, isn't it?
I think it's over right now. It's
not even.
Put it this way: it'll be over when the injury report comes out. If the Warriors are all healthy,
most likely
the game's over.
And they're playing tomorrow. You said against 76. No, they're playing Thursday against 76ers. If I'm not mistaken. Yes, they are playing Thursday. And if they destroy the 76ers, which is a very good team, mind you, with Butler maybe coming back. Mm-hmm. This Warriors team we may be right. They may never lose another game this season. So, wow. They're on an 11-game winning streak right now. They would be on a 57-game winning streak by the end of the season.
They're not going to lose any. They'll lose here and there. I mean, I know we're just screwing around.
So you don't say if you're not saying a 57-game winning streak is possible?
We're screwing around. But we know that this team is probably not going to lose back-to-back games the rest of the season.
Okay,
they're probably not going to lose more than 2 games in any playoff series. I think those are safe bets. If I'm being completely honest,
honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they swept every single series.
Yeah, no, it's not impossible.
They almost did it last year.
Well, last year the Rockets pushed them.
Yeah, but there was a year where it was all but one series really cost them. But let me ask you, over under 5 losses rest of the season.
Rest of the season?
Yeah, 5 losses.
Let me check something. I'm gonna say under.
That is, you know how I know
there's 32 games left.
Isn't that so absurd?
27-5. I only say that because Denver and OKC, I guess, are still making it interesting for the number 1 seed. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know, man. Like, I am assuming... Actually, I'll say over. I'll say over, and I only say over because I think they'll be super cautious with, like, any injury scare. They'll probably start resting players more. Mm-hmm. You'll see DeMarcus Cousins. He'll get his run, but I think he'll probably get, like, a couple weeks off, like, just for maintenance. Like, they'll just be like, hey...
How absurd does that sound where
yeah.
under 5 losses the rest of the season and there's over 30 games left? That's ridiculous.
There's 32. Yeah, that's...
If we say, honestly, if they actually do if I'm saying unlikely, if they actually finish this season on a winning streak, 57 games, it would not surprise me as much as any other team. It'll be like, wow, we saw this coming, almost.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, it'll be old news by then.
Yeah.
You could put them already as one of the greatest teams ever assembled.
I just want to talk about Boogie for a minute. He killed it last night, 22 minutes.
Oh, I thought you wanted to dance.
No, 25 minutes, 22 points, 9 rebounds. Like,
just when we thought the Warriors couldn't
they played 25 minutes. Like, if they would have played the fourth quarter, because if that game was relatively close, Boogie probably would have scored 30 points, had 15 rebounds, and 6 or 7 assists. And we're talking about a guy coming off an Achilles injury. We're talking about the fourth best player on the Warriors.
And when you
It's
look at... And just when we thought the Warriors could not be getting better, they got better.
Mm-hmm.
We thought that was impossible. They have literally done the impossible by being better than the best.
I want to talk about something, though. There was a report that came out that if the Lakers acquire Anthony Davis, that Klay Thompson...
He's not going anywhere.
That Klay Thompson could be interested in joining the Lakers. I think that's kind of been known, though, because he's from L.A. Like,
yeah, I think he's staying in Golden State, though. Why would he leave? There's no point in him leaving.
Maybe he just wants to get out of the spotlight. I don't know. Or
out of the spotlight?
Out of the shadow of Curry. I don't know. Maybe try something new.
He's probably more profitable.
Maybe he wants to live in L.A. Maybe he wants to live go back home.
But would you agree or disagree? He could be more profitable in Golden State than he can be in L.A.
Profitable? You mean in terms of salary? Because he can get more money from the Warriors for sure.
Yeah, and also, like, do you think since he's part of the Splash Brothers, he might get more endorsement deals and that kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Because if he leaves, the Splash Brothers thing is over, and that's a big selling point for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a big advertisement thing as well, probably. So, looking at things, I feel like moving to LA would hurt him more than anything else. I think he just needs to stay put. I think that's what's best for him overall.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. He's gonna, if the Warriors max him out, he can get more money with the Warriors. I'm not saying he should leave, but we talked about this before, Jeff, or even earlier today in a different podcast. Like, playing at home. Like, maybe Klay wants to play in LA.
Maybe.
It's not so bad living in LA. You know what? You know how warm it was yesterday in LA? It was 80.
Really?
80 degrees. While the rest of the world, or the rest of the country, is freezing. And now, the Bay Area is not the worst place weather-wise, don't get me wrong, but it stays it can get chilly there. It's cold in Oakland sometimes. Talking about 50s. I know people might be listening to this podcast, they're like, what's cold? Because it's 0 degrees right now. But not in California, well, most of California. But in LA, man, 80 degrees this last weekend, last couple days. That's nice.
It is
That's
nice.
shorts weather.
Don't you wish there was, I bet some players wish there was a professional team in Hawaii.
It was 60 degrees this Saturday, I believe, or this last weekend, maybe Sunday. Oh, my God, it was beautiful. It was so nice. I was wearing shorts.
In Sacramento?
Yeah, it was like 60 degrees and sunny.
Well,
it was beautiful.
I was taking a nap because we get up at 4 a.m. usually to get here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, so, anyways, we'll see what happens when it comes to the war. I mean, I think it's a foregone conclusion the Warriors are going to win the championship.
Basically, we're saying they're not going to lose more than 5 games this season.
Mm-hmm.
Which is absurd. Like, okay, how about this? Over, under 3 games.
The Warriors will lose? I think they're going to lose over. I think they'll lose over 5. if they're literally playing like competitively to win, like if they really want to get the number 1 seed, if they really want to, I don't know, if they stay healthy, I could see them losing less than 5. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they'll wrap up the 1 seed. I think they will cruise, and I think they will be very, very cautious. Like I said, I think it'll be a situation where like you'll see DeMarcus Cousins not play for 2 weeks because he's still coming back, and yes, he's looked great, but they'll take the super slow, cautious approach. And I'm sure if Durant's feeling a little sore on a Tuesday afternoon, they'll be like, you know what? You're not playing tonight. Why don't you just get treatment? Why don't you go get a massage, and you'll play Thursday? Something like that, you know?
It's true. And also the fact is, when you look at I just can't get over how good this team is. I'm sorry, I can't. It's like, you know what,
next year it could be a different story.
I know. But no, you know when you play NBA 2K and you do a bunch of trades and make these like forced trades to get the amazing players and free and like no.
Are you one of those people that do that? Like, are you or aren't you? Be honest.
I do both.
Do you do like career mode and then like you're like all of a sudden you have, I don't know, Kyrie. Kawhi.
When I do career mode, when I play as myself, I usually don't have anyone else around me, and I still win. I still win the NBA championship 3 times, and I have no one around me. But when I do the GM mode,
do you make yourself like you in your current physical form, or
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
You're not like 6'5".
I'm a point guard at 5'8". Yeah. Oh, I look tiny.
I'm just making sure.
I look tiny, but I'm averaging 35, 10, and 10 a game.
That's basically Harden.
Yeah. One of the things I do for GM mode is I do a realistic general manager mode where I have the team I start with and I do like salary cap and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
you
then
try to make it as simulation as possible.
And then I get some good players. I do a lot in the free agent market. I do make some first, like when you have the first like third round pick, with the third overall pick, you get so many good trade offers in 2K. I got Draymond Green and Klay Thompson for the second overall pick.
Wow.
I took that in a heartbeat. And also,
you must have not had Zion available, right? Or the other Duke guys like JT Barrett.
This is 2K18.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. These are like custom made.
So no Luka?
No Luka. But I was going to buy 19. But anyways, it was also one of those things. And then I do the other general manager mode where you put off salary cap and you force trades and just make a dominant team and just go 82-0.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was to make a dominant team a couple years ago, I would have DeMarcus Cousins, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green in my lineup. Maybe Draymond Green is a bench player and bring in like Anthony Davis, but 3 or 4 out of those 5 starters they have, I would put on a team to go 82-0.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they have. They have a 2K lineup, a fake lineup.
Yeah, they do. They are a cheat code, is what they are. Why don't
up,
we go to
down,
a break?
down, left, right, BA start, select start.
Yeah, so we will be heading to a break, but when we return, we'll talk about some other action last night in the NBA, some comments by Trae Young, when LeBron is expected back, and Jimmy Butler as well. But before us, I want to talk to you about investing and planning for your retirement. It's always best to get advice from the experts. Best-selling author Harry Dent, America's #1 economist, says the dark window is open. There is an opportunity to rapidly boost your retirement savings before the greatest stock market crash in American history. But this dark window won't be open for long. You can make 10 times the annual average stock market gain in just a few short months, according to the research of renowned Harvard economist Harry Dent, though this window could slam shut later this year. And nobody on Wall Street is expecting it. This dark window is something bigger, by far, than anything he's predicted up to this point. And you can make 10 times the annual average stock market gain. Find out more by going to www.harrydentforecast.com. There is a very short time to take advantage of this dark window, so go to www.harrydentforecast.com to learn more.
Check out the show that's built on the MMA. From the UFC to extreme cage fighting, they got the fights covered. Check out the GSMC MMA podcast. Get the latest news on past or upcoming fights. Join us as we talk to and about some of the biggest names in the MMA, past, present, and future. When it's the fight game, there's just one show to check out. GSMCpodcast.com/MMA-podcast. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
Welcome back to the GSMC Basketball Podcast. Just finished talking about the unstoppable cheat code that is the Warriors. Now we're moving on to other topics like what's happening in the NBA other than the Warriors. Do we know anything?
There's a couple games happened last night.
Like what? Like, oh wait, the Warriors winning by 30.
Mm-hmm.
We just went back to the Warriors. But yeah, without Oladipo, the Pacers are almost dead in the water, huh?
It's going to be hard for them. I mean, they're going to make playoffs and everything, but it's going to be hard for them to win a series without
I
him.
don't think they're making it past the first round without Oladipo.
Yeah, I don't know. Because they're likely going to get the 4 or 5 seeds, so that means they're going to play the Sixers or the Celtics. They're not winning that series.
And they are built for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Just how it works.
Yeah, we will see what happens, though. But, yeah, I know they're playing the Warriors, but they got blown out at home last night. That's a very disappointing loss.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something you are used to when it comes to a home team getting killed like that.
Yeah. But there's other action in the NBA. Any scores that stand out for you on yesterday's slate? Maybe I think you were going to talk about the Nuggets coming back on that win.
They came back from a 25-point deficit. The Big Duke Grizzlies, 95-92. Jokic basically was the leader of that comeback with 24 points. Still making a case for MVP, to be honest with you. Any other year, I would say he would be in line for MVP at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And Celtics beat the Nets. D'Angelo Russell still playing at a high level despite the loss. I mean, D'Angelo Russell is playing amazing. Like, he should arguably be ahead of Kemba Walker in the All-Stars at the moment. Would you agree? Or would you still put Kemba above him?
Well, Kemba had such a hot start to the season. D'Angelo Russell's been coming on as of late. I still would give the nod to Kemba, but Russell gives you something to think about for
Absolutely. Sure. That's why I had to ask that question, because D'Angelo Russell's been playing lights out for the Nets, and he is the star of that team.
Starting to take that next step, it looks like.
Absolutely. Well, the Lakers
he's going from talented to
he's worth that first round pick the Lakers.
There's a word that I'm looking for. He's always been talented.
Potential?
He's always had potential, but now he's more
elevated?
pragmatic. It's more his talents are resulting in better results.
A quality player?
Yeah, his talent is turning into better decision making, a higher efficiency scoring,
more
things like that.
Higher basketball IQ.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's maturing as a player. He's showing this year that his next step is
That's what
going.
the draft is about. It's not the guy how he's going to help right away. It's a matter of how he can develop in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a while for some guys to be great in the NBA, and D'Angelo Russell is proving that sometimes you need some
these guys
time.
are drafted at 19 years old. And
yeah, sometimes you need to develop as a person, and we get used to the NBA pace
They're
to
kids
be better.
when they get drafted most often.
And now he's in the adult area, I don't know, 25, same as Anthony Davis?
No, he's not that old.
24?
D'Angelo Russell, he's probably 22.
Is he really that? God, they are a lot younger than people really realize, do they? Aren't they?
He's definitely not as old as Anthony Davis.
What year was he drafted? 2013?
Let me take a look. He was drafted in 2015.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he's probably 20 at that time?
22?
Yeah, okay.
96. February 23rd, 96 is his birthday.
Oh, wow. But He can only get better. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
He can only improve. Because I feel like you need to be at like 26, 27, like Anthony Davis, 25, 26, 27, to really get used to the game by that point and develop a strong game. Like Stephen Curry didn't start his career amazing. He got drafted in, 2009?
Oh, yeah. He had to take a couple of years.
Yeah. And now he's arguably one of the best players in the NBA, the best shooter in the NBA by far. And it took him a couple of years.
Yeah, big time. Russell, I think we're seeing that. We're seeing him take the next step. We'll see how far he can ascend.
I'm very excited to see what he does.
Yeah. Anyways, what other games happened last night?
The Knicks lost their 10th straight to the Hornets.
They're trying to do the opposite of the Warriors.
They're
like, oh yeah, you're going to win again.
Go on a 56.
We'll lose again.
So if they lose out the rest of the season, they'll be on a 56-game losing streak.
Yeah, and they still might not get the number one pick based on the new rules, which is kind of funny.
Should there even be a lottery? What do you think of the lottery?
I think they should give the number one pick to the first team that misses the playoffs. And then everybody will try to win all the time.
The first team that misses the playoffs?
The best non-playoff team gets the number one pick. How many teams would be scratching and clawing every night to win basketball games?
So the 9th place in theory.
Yes, well, the bet in either conference, yeah. Whatever the highest winning team, non-playoff, gets the number one pick. There you go.
I like that because now people will actually not tank because they can't afford to
I'm
tank.
not saying that I like this rule, but it is a anti-tank rule.
It is a big. I like it just because of the fact no one team is going to purposely tank anymore because they can't afford to tank.
Right. Because winning games, there's incentive there.
Okay, how about this? The first pick is like what you say, and then the rest is lottery.
There would be a tanking, actually, though. The team that is in 8th place would try and tank to get 9th place and not. Because what would you rather do? Play the Warriors in round 1 or get Zion Williamson and not make the playoffs? You'd take Zion, yeah.
I just think I like the fact the first place team gets a higher percentage, the last place team gets a higher percentage chance, and everyone else goes behind them. That makes sense to me. But giving everyone else the opportunity,
or just do a true lottery, where everybody that doesn't make the playoffs has the same chance of getting the number one pick.
Everyone, one ball,
true lottery,
one ball. Okay, I like that too. Like they did in the original '85 one. But no.
You could have the worst record in the league and have the 15th pick.
But like it's like you know the original lottery had the big clear ball with the envelopes. Just do that, but without frozen envelopes, Knicks, and have just ping pong balls.
Yeah, that was the one where they rigged it.
Yeah, the first one they rigged it. Shouldn't they have changed it right after that? After the first one, you expect them to change something. But anyways, so they should just have all one ping pong ball. And you know how they do it in the lottery where they suck the ball in the air and put it into like on this like stand. Like, no one touches it. It just gets sucked up. Mm-hmm. Can they just do that and just have the team's logo on the ball?
Maybe.
Because that's perfect.
Yeah. I think...
I love that idea. Why aren't we running the NBA right now? Can we just run the lottery?
Or maybe they do like a mini playoff where all the bottom...
That's too many games.
What about the bottom 8 teams? They play a 1-game playoff in each round. So you could play up to 3 games.
I don't know. I like our pinball idea better. It's more interesting that way.
Mm-hmm. Pinball?
Ping pong.
Oh, gotcha. How about Trae Young? Trae Young said that the Luka Doncic trade where he was involved, worked out for both teams, the Hawks and the Mavericks. Trae Young says history will show he is superior to Luka Doncic.
Did he actually say superior?
Yes.
Come on, man.
He said, obviously I hear everything that goes on. You can't miss it. Luka's having a really good year so far, and for me, all I do is try and focus on myself and my team. I know it's easy to say, but I'm really dedicated to working extremely hard every day for my teammates, and I think at the end of the day, it worked out for both teams. That's how I look at it. I mean, Luka's doing really well. I feel like I'm doing really well. He said, he went on to say, in my eyes, it's not even a question. It's going to be me, Young said when asked about who would be the better player in 5 to 10 years.
Well, I understand why he said me, because why would you see somebody else? But in reality,
I mean, what else is he going to say? He was asked who's going to be the better player, and he said, I am a competitor, and I'm going to be the better player.
But him saying we're both doing really well is not true.
I don't think it worked out for both teams.
I think the Mavericks won.
However, What if the Mavericks pick ends up being another player? Because remember, they get Dallas's first-round pick this year. Atlanta does.
So they could, if the Mavericks don't make the playoffs, they could get Zion.
The Mavericks are definitely not making the playoffs. They could possibly get Zion, but they're probably not. They'll probably get a pick around number 10, I would say, as of right now.
Well, remember the Bulls, when the Derrick Rose incident, like they had a 1.7% chance of getting the first overall pick, and they got it. So anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't rule out any team that's in the lottery.
Yeah. But there is a chance that trade could have worked out for the Hawks.
Yeah,
I just don't think it'll be. I think it'll be.
It's not
have to be someone else.
It's not this. Between
It'll have to
two.
be a 2-on-1. You know, like,
Yeah.
it'll have to be like Zion and Trey better than Luka. You know, or like one of these other guys like JT Barrett, Cam Reddish.
It's
or
not
one of these
just
other guys.
Trey. That's what we're saying.
Right.
And obviously Luka, maybe one of the best draft picks in the last couple of years.
Sources say LeBron could be back Thursday.
Sure.
He'll be back just in time to get blown out by the Warriors.
Well, the thing is, we were talking about this, and maybe they should take their time with him and not risk him going in so early. Like, why? Like, they should take their sweet old time with this. But
76ers expect Jimmy Butler back tonight.
I think they're wanting him against the Warriors for Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a tune-up. They're not going to play him. I think he's going to get like 20 minutes. But then he's going to play a full game against the Warriors. That's my guess, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that happening?
Yeah, probably. All right, well, that's our show for today. Join us Thursday. We'll recap the action in the last couple of days.
Absolutely.
Plus, we'll look ahead to the weekend. I haven't looked at the games yet, but if it's anything like last weekend, we're in for another weekend of big-time basketball.
Yes, absolutely. As always, I'm Jeff Malinoff. That's Mark Souza, and we will see you on Thursday. Have a good day, everybody.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Basketball Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.